the market that you're in. Which part of California do you find yourself servicing the most?
I'm based in Healdsburg, California, which is kind of the northern part of Sonoma County. We're about an hour and 15 minutes from the Golden Gate Bridge.
Okay.
We're a huge, well, I shouldn't say huge. It's maybe 20% of our stock is secondary homes. During the pandemic, like all other, I wouldn't call us particularly rural, but we're only a town of 11,000, and relatively close to San Francisco. So we saw, huge surge in buyers trying to get out of the city.
Bob, what are you seeing as far as trends are concerned in your area? I know you said you have people shifting focus from the cities to the more rural areas, but what's the competition like out there?
Ever since last May, there's been a shift. You have the kind of the global uncertainty with the war, the interest rates. That slowed things down during the fall, but it seems that people got used to the interest rates and just said, we can deal with this and refinance later. So a lot of my buyers are cash.
Right.
That isn't a huge issue, but and the other thing is I have a fair amount of country properties, and the weather this last winter just slowed everything down as far as that was concerned, because when you're selling a place with 20 or 30 acres, trying to look at it in the rain just kind of doesn't work.
Right, doesn't get it done. So now, what are some of the pros and some of the highlights of the area where you find yourself selling most frequently?
So Healdsburg itself was a tourist destination before it was even incorporated as a city, which was back in, the first buildings were built between 1851 and 1857. It's not like you guys back east, but
right.
we look at that as pretty old. A lot of disillusioned gold prospectors came here and eventually discovered that the gold was in the real estate, not in the veins of the geysers. Was a big attraction, and the first few buildings built in Healdsburg were hotels. Let's say right after Prohibition, the first wine tourism began, and the Italian Swiss colony opened up a kind of a tourist venue just north of Healdsburg. And at one point, I think in the 50s, it had as high an attendance as Disneyland.
How is the short-term rental market there? Is that something that's encouraged, or is that something to kind of protect the integrity of your product that they try and, dissuade people from doing?
It depends on whom you talk to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
In city limits, short-term rental is only allowed in commercial zones. I think part of that is some pushback from the hotels.
Yep.
But in the unincorporated area, after we had the fires in 2017, and which destroyed a lot of housing stock, and the county clamped down on short-term rentals right away. That for months they weren't allowing any new applications. And of course, when you'd sell a short-term rental, the license didn't transfer, so the new owner would have to go through the process. But now here, five years later, they're finally loosened the application process. But yeah, there is a big short-term rental potential here.